So I think this is the club that we all love or hate. Not the TaylorMade Stealth, but the driver. Now, if you're a golfer like me who's just been off the boil for a bit lately, I'm going to run through 3 simple tips that are going to get you striking it better, getting it more play, and hitting the ball further than before. So historically for me, driver's been a really good club. I've been able to get the ball, if not on the fairway, in play every time, but just at the moment, it really feels like I kind of stand up, put my swing on it, and occasionally I get one like that, which is absolutely perfect, straight down the middle, little draw, 270 carry and 292. But that's not the problem. The problem is it's either that or it's just off the planet, right or left. And I just feel there's lots going on. So the idea being just to run through a little session for myself and share with you 3 simple little tips to try and get driver back in play and hitting some good tee shots. So the first thing I would tend to see with me and with most golfers is that at address we start getting things wrong. Now, first things first is golfers are very aware that they're trying to hit up with driver. So the first thing they tend to do is put the ball a long way forward, and the little challenge is the further forward the ball gets, yes, in theory that low point's behind, so it gets it moving up. But also the more I move the ball position forward, you can see that my shoulders actually aim more and more left. That's going to make me swing out to win. But also as the club's travelling up, the club's travelling out to win more. So I think at address, it's important that we get the ball forward with driver. So I would always say kind of pretty much opposite my left armpit is a good feel. And initially I want to feel that I'm pretty 50-50 with my weight. So the first tip would be from here, I actually want to feel that I move my hip slightly more towards the target, feels a bit more pressure in my lead foot, and creates a little bit more spine tilt. And just straight away from there, feels that my lower body's more active. And straight away, when I make that little change at address, nudge those hips towards the target, suddenly feels like the strike is more solid. And we can see there, fairly near the middle of the golf club, low point 4.5 inches behind, slightly from the inside, nice neutral club face delivery, 105.6 mile an hour, so not my quickest swing, but 250 carry and 286. And I do genuinely think that most golfers really, really struggle at address. So whether it's they're getting the ball position too far back, shoulders out of position, but one thing I massively see with golfers is because they're trying to hit up, they really kind of sit back on that back foot. The problem is there's too much tilt, the low point's going to be way behind, so they're either going to really struggle with strike or kind of the club's going to travel up and they're going to top it. And I definitely think with me, I tend to get there, and if anything, as I sit that way, there's too much pressure on that back foot. So that easy fix, just bump those hips towards the target, and straight away I'm set in a better position, and as a result, I find it much easier to get the middle of the club face near the ball. And because the middle of the club face is actually giving me a true reflection on where that's pointing, I get some good feedback. Right, so once we've got set up correct, it's given us our best opportunity to actually get a decent swing on the golf ball. So then, it's not so much backswing, I think a lot of guys struggle, but once they get to the top of the backswing, again, to lead into a little bit what I spoke about before, because they're trying to get that low point behind, they feel that they want to keep the weight on that back foot. And I think when golfers tend to stay back, they can even fall back. Feel my hands have helped me out a lot there. We can see that low point 9 inches behind. Club face and path, I've done really well to get everything back, but it really felt there was so much going on there that any little change, the speed I'm swinging, we can be in different time zones. So that next key feeling is that once you've set yourself up and you got to the top of your backswing, I want you to really feel that you get that pressure across into that lead foot as quick as possible. The little difference with driver as opposed to iron is with driver, as the pressure shifts left, that torso is staying behind the golf ball to get that low point behind. But with iron, everything moves a little bit more in front of the ball and gets that low point ahead. But you have to really get the pressure moving towards the target, and as the pressure gets there and that leg straightens, the low point will take care of itself and we'll have more control on strike and delivery. So we get there into that address position, and we can see there a little bit out the toe, so just making that one shape a little bit more, but 5.5 inches behind, club path slightly from the inside, club face showing as 1.8 open, but actually would have been slightly closed if it had been out the middle. A little bit more club head speed at 108 and 240 carry, 256 total. So it's really important that you keep the pressure moving into that left side, especially if you're a golfer, like a lot of golfers, who one of the ways they create their speed is with that side-to-side movement in the golf swing. Okay, so tip number 3. So the setup and that start of the downswing is going to give us a more centered strike and help deliver some consistency in path and face. Mainly down to the fact that if the low point's in a more similar place, it means that the golf ball is in the same place in the golf swing, therefore the path and face are easy to control. So once you can get the ball in play, what's the cherry on top? Well, it's about creating some more speed. And for most golfers, I think the issue is they actually work on swinging slowly. And definitely I've seen in the last couple of weeks, I don't even think it's been a conscious thought with me, that I've been getting up over the golf ball, maybe not setting up as well as I could. And then just, it feels very controlled, nearly missed that one, thinny one, kind of playable, but just felt horrible. So what we're going to change is we're going to change your intent. So your intent is going to be that you're actually going to try and swing the club quickly. So we're going to go a little quicker on the way back and a little quicker on the way through. And the quicker backswing will actually help create more speed in the downswing. Now, if you'd like to see a video on the science behind that, comment below. And if there's enough comments, I just might do that video. So we're going to go good setup position, quicker back and through. That feels a lot quicker. So as long as everything else is good, we should see a benefit to that. So we're set up well. So we see there, just slightly out the toe, low point 6.7 inches behind, club speed up to almost 110. Club face a little open at 6 degrees, but again, showing more of that because of the strike. Carry at 264 and total at 284. So if you're a golfer who has been struggling with driver, and yours truly is one of those, work through those 3 steps. The first 2 are really fundamental to you striking it better, getting the ball in play. Once you've got that, if you can put that little bit of speed in, that's going to take that drive into a whole new level. And if you're interested in 5 free videos on the fundamentals of your golf, go to my website, alitaylorgolf.com, fill in what you need, and I'll send you personally 5 free videos. Thanks for watching.